Welcome to Drivers Talk Radio, hosted by automotive expert and championship-winning race car driver Rick Titus. Join Rick and his team for informative and entertaining discussions geared for automotive enthusiasts and consumers alike. Enjoy in-depth interviews with industry leaders and influencers. Now, originating from its studio headquarters in Las Vegas, it's time for Drivers Talk Radio and your host, Rick Titus.
And welcome to Drivers Talk. I'm Rick Titus. We appreciate you being with us. As you can probably already sense if you're watching this on your computer, I feel somewhat sorry for you AM/FM listeners and those you listening on Stitcher because you can't actually see what's going on here. We are in full regalia, at least as we see it, wearing bandanas, which make me look like an old hippie. Tracy look like the gangster he actually is. Spencer, yeah, kind of looking like the gangster you are. And of course, we did this out of, well, total respect for our special guest, and that is Danny Koker from Counts Customs. We had to do this for you. We knew you'd get a kick out of it.
No, we were hoping he got a kick out of it.
That is somewhat true, actually. There was a moment of doubt. We have to be honest with you.
You guys look great.
And of course, actually, Kevin's with
I was
us.
going to say, Kevin Mack is right-hand man, left-hand man today.
Yeah,
That's right. If you watch their TV shows, and he's not only got they don't only got their own shows, they appear on other shows as well. You've seen him on Pawn Stars, you've seen him on American Restorations at Rick Restorations, of course now with Counting Cars, which is just a great program. And we're going to get into the kind of courage it takes to do that. And then, of course, talk about the number of companies here. But so we're kind of breaking the format. In studio, of course, Tracy Miller, kind of my sidekick guy, and then, of course, on the board, and that's our engineer, Spencer Crick, doing his job. So the whole gang's here. We're going to work, and you'll be able to see a lot of still shots from this. Our staff photographer is taking pictures for us, and that, of course, is Austin Miller. Will be getting a lot of quality stills. Hopefully, he'll win some awards from these as well, because this kid wins way too many awards. In fact, I'm starting to get a little sick of it, okay? It's getting a little
Every time
old.
I look over there now, the camera's moving because
That's
he's laughing.
right. That's right. You're 2 awards away from never being on the show again.
Wow,
okay?
that was like a Richard Nixon moment.
It was
2 awards.
2 awards. That's right. Yeah, Richard Nixon. Good luck selling that. We're so excited to have Danny. A, because he's a local, and Kevin because they're locals here. But I'm going to start right up front. We said it in the beginning. People who look like us generally don't approach people that look like you guys. But we say that the minute you go Motorhead, it's neutral territory. Yeah. It's safe ground. You can go.
Absolutely. That's the common ground, man. Car people will talk to car people.
Yep.
Bike people will talk to bike people. Car people talk to bike people. It's just, that's the common denominator. That's what brings, to me, that's what brings a lot of people together. Is you'll find all kinds of walks of life. People from every kind of you'll find people from every kind of whatever their occupation. I don't care if you've got attorneys, if you've got judges, if you've got a guy who's tarring roofs on the weekend. It doesn't matter. The common denominator is the cars and the bikes bring all kinds of people together.
And it's interesting being car guys. Tracy's more into motorcycles than I am, but I respect what gets done there, especially the customization. Quality work is quality work. And if it's got a motor hook to it, that's neutral territory. I mean, Kevin, I could walk up to you in a heartbeat and talk about anything car or motor, bike or not, and it's neutral turf.
That's right. That's right, yeah.
The other thing I got to say before we jump in here with a whole battery of questions we got for you, since we've come to Las Vegas, and we've only been here, the better part of 4 or 5 months now, coming from Los Angeles, we've been blown away, at what a car town this is.
It is.
We tell people, you come to Las Vegas, plan an extra day because there's so much to do here, so much to see here. You can go by your place.
Yeah.
But we've dealt with all levels, from the Ferrari Dream Racing out at the Speedway.
Yep.
No matter where we mention your names, you guys have the best reputation. I've never, in L.A., you would never hear these kind of compliments. We haven't talked to anybody who hasn't something nice to say about you
That's
guys.
kind. I appreciate that. Kevin's been in Vegas his entire life. He was actually born and raised here, believe it or not.
Wow.
So he's been here now.
Children actually get birthed here, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was right in the casino floor, right
There. Yay, Mom.
Somebody yelled craps, and there was Kevin.
Yeah.
And today it's still all crap. There's Kevin.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of good and bad.
Yeah, well, he's been here forever. I've been here 25 years now, and I did live here before one time. I spent 5 years here before, and it's a great town. You keep your nose clean, you work hard, you treat people right.
Yep.
it's not that hard. It's not that hard to have a good reputation.
I tell you,
you just treat people right. Man.
It's really kind of neat because you say, we're gonna have Danny Koker on the, and people are like, oh, really? Oh, God, great guy.
I appreciate
I
that.
love that kind of dialogue. It's just so nice to have, as opposed to LA where they're, well, that skank's gonna try and steal your wallet.
Okay, wait a minute. Yours is missing, but
I know yours has a chain on it.
Exactly.
the reality is
changing.
we're hearing that locally, but it also comes across on your show. Compared to a lot of the reality shows out there,
Cool.
I got to be honest. We've mentioned this before we came on air, and that is you get tired of the fighting and the bickering and everything else.
Yeah.
You guys come off as sincere guys,
Well,
and I think
appreciate
people
that.
appreciate that.
Thank you for noticing that. We appreciate it. We're hearing positive feedback like that literally from. It was around the country, but literally it's now around the world. History has launched us around the world. It's
Awesome.
insane.
Well, let's talk about that. You're on the History Channel.
Yes.
It's going to be 9 o'clock on Tuesday nights.
Tuesday nights at 9.
And the debut is on the 9th.
The season 2.
So you're already on the air by the time
April
we-
9th. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's awesome. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk about that. Are you still going to appear on Pawn Stars? You're still
Yes.
going to show up at Rick's place once in a while?
Yeah, Rick and I are Rick Harrison and I over at Pawn Stars. We are very good friends, and we do all of their work, be it cars or bikes. So I will still be doing all of their work for them. So you'll still be seeing me making appearances on Pawn Stars.
Good.
Rick Dale and I over at American Restoration, we're also really good friends. So we're going to continue to work together on things, certain projects here and there. So yeah, you'll see.
All right, let me
you'll
just
see
say
us
something
working
about
together.
your pal Rick Dale. That show's a little scary to watch because if you see the process of them taking things apart, you're like, really? Get a bigger hammer? I mean, it looks a little ugly, you know what I'm saying? But then you see the finished product, you're like, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those gorillas managed to come up with that finished
Oh
product?
yeah, they're good. They're really good.
It's
They do an
stunning
amazing
stuff.
job.
Yep.
They really
Rick
do.
knows his business over there, man. He's
All right,
really
but every
good.
time that they call you from Pawn Stars,
Yeah.
it could be that 53 Chevy pickup you came over and looked at. It could be
Yeah.
that one movie car, that 3-car thing that came out of some futuristic movie.
I remember that.
That 3-wheel thing.
It came out of Free Jack.
Free
Came out of
Jack.
Free Jack.
I've said,
What a
okay,
great film
Danny's
that
not
was.
going to know anything about this vehicle. Are you getting prepped before you get there? How do you know so stinking much about all these cars?
Honestly, it's the truth of the matter is my entire life I have studied cars and studied bikes since as far back as I can remember, and I am just I don't know it all. Nobody knows it all, and if anybody claims they know it all, they're lying.
Be afraid of them, yeah.
Right. But I have a world of weird knowledge, weird stuff.
Thank God you found a place to use it.
And that's what I said. I've said when this show happened, I'm like, man, oh man, finally, this is what I've been groomed for my entire life. This is lunacy that I'm getting ready to do this, but up. That's why I wear this thing, man. I keep all my
Is that holding
all my
information
knowledge
in?
wrapped in, man.
Oh, then I may be wearing this more than I expected.
I'll tell you, the one thing that Danny is a true artist because I think he even sings better than he builds cars and bikes. I mean, he's got a great voice, a great
He does have a great
on-stage
voice.
presence.
That's why he's never coming back on this show. Because he's definitely got a radio voice.
Yeah,
So-
no, he's great. He's creative. He is so left side brain. It's unbelievable, and I have zero left side brain.
He is all right side. Which
Yeah,
is
well,
wonderful.
But that
Yeah.
works. And
That
one of the things I
works,
want to
yes.
compliment you on, Kevin, is it's so obvious you've got this guy's back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you're not afraid to say, this is nuts. What are you doing?
Right.
I
Yeah.
love that. The same thing he'll do with me.
Right.
You can see that the friendship is genuine. It's not a camera put on thing. And you can tell, mess with him, you get to mess with him too.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And I
And we
love
go
that.
back 18 years. Kevin
See,
and
I
I,
love
it's,
that.
it's not just in business. Kevin and I go back 18 years. We were riding motorcycles together as young troublemakers years ago, and then the friendship was always there, and then it evolved into business because, like he said, he is very much a right side guy. He's cross the T's, dot the I's, takes.
Well,
care of
Danny, to
business.
come up with the line that he came up with, you get over girlfriends faster than you get over cars. I'm sorry.
Thank you for bringing that.
They're
up.
bringing that back up. I know. There's a Mrs. Coker.
I hate to say it, but it's already on the air.
Yeah,
Exactly.
There's a
There's
Mrs.
no
Coker. Yeah,
hiding
it's kind of
that.
out there,
Right,
but
right.
it was a classic line.
Thank you, Kevin.
And I noticed you had no denial, no defense whatsoever.
What can I say? This looks like a really good book. Right?
Yeah. Nice segue. Well, you can tell you're working in TV now. You're working in TV.
We're going to have to go to break in a second, but one of the things we want to mention, more diverse than just cars and motorcycles.
Yes.
You have a tattoo company.
Yes.
You have a shop.
Yes.
You also have a bar and grill.
Yes.
Which Austin and I have been to. We'll talk about that when we come back. But
Awesome.
very diverse guy.
AM/FM listeners, thank you so much for being with us. We'll be right back. This is Driver's Talk.
And for our VOD audience, we appreciate you being with us. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Driver's Talk. I'm Rick Titus, Tracy Miller, and Spencer Crick in studio. Our special guest, you care to announce? You're the producer. You went and got him.
Yeah, and I'm shocked. I mean, the ease of being able to do that really surprised me. I figured that, okay, these guys are untouchable at this point. However, if you've seen the show, it's the new hit well, actually, it's not even new anymore. Season 2 now. Yep. The hit TV show on history called Counting Cars. And we have in studio with us, I'm going to give the handler first, Kevin Mack. And the guy he takes care of is Danny the Count Koker. Thanks for being with us, guys.
Thank God you're looking out for him, too, Kevin. I hate to think the trouble he'd be in by now.
Right.
Now, there's a backstory to why it's called Counting Cars. Yes. That, of course, is your nickname is the Count.
Yep.
And you call your business Count's Customs.
Yep. That's correct.
Yes, the show Tuesday nights on History, 9 o'clock. You got to watch it, mostly because I figure you must know karate. You're a ninja. And
I got all that. Yeah, I'm. You
good.
know,
this is good.
Yeah, UFC,
and I hope you're packing.
Fighting, MMA style.
Cool.
I'm trained.
You're the guy.
Yeah. I'm
because
trained
he's
in all
writing
that.
checks. You get the cash.
Actually,
Ex-male exotic dancer.
Yeah.
Anime. There you go. There you go.
I spend a lot of time in the desert firing my weapons.
Okay, good.
Very good.
Okay, so you don't want him to outlaw
And he
the big
brings
clips,
guns,
right?
Right.
Yeah.
I like the big clips
The
that
big
stick
clip.
below the
This is good
hand.
because at the rate he writes the checks, you
that's-
better be well
that's
armed,
right.
buddy.
That's right.
Interesting show, but you appear on Pawn Stars and on American Restorations as well. You've gotten to be very well known, and again, as we said earlier, great reputation here in
Thank you.
town,
Appreciate it.
which has really made it more fun. Tracy, you want to buy your business? Now, your business really is you do build. I mean, that's your background is building custom cars and custom bikes.
Absolutely.
Now, with everything that's going on with you, do you still have time to attend to that part of the business?
Tragically, not nearly as much as I used to, and that's something that I miss and I really enjoy. So for me, it gets a little more fun after hours. You know, when everybody goes home, and I still have whatever energy I've got left. I can go play with the cars and get a little bit dirty, or play with the bikes. But and also during the off time when we're not shooting the shows, when we're between seasons, that's when I can get my hands dirty.
But now you got this personal appearance calendar. You guys are getting busier and busier. You thought you were done when it was off season.
Yeah.
But the scale comes back the other way.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's literally at least every other weekend, and sometimes weekend after weekend we're on the road. We're out of town. I mean, we'll be shooting on Friday and literally leave the shop, go to the airport, and fly somewhere.
I saw you had speaking engagements all across the country. Of course, I
Yeah.
noticed on your coming events we weren't on there. I'm not too pissed off about that, mostly because you could kick my ass if I mentioned it. But let's talk about this. So but Count's Customs has to remain a viable business.
Well,
yes.
You've got a staff, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and really, when Danny says he's, tragically he's not there as much, but the one thing that he does is he is involved with every single project that goes through that shop.
Yeah.
Even though he might not be there, he's already designed the creative.
Yeah, your
on the
hand's
car.
gotta be on
Oh,
this.
absolutely,
Every one of them.
absolutely.
Every
And
one
then, of course, at the end, when the car is finished or the bike is finished, he's the one that rides it. He's the one that makes any changes, make sure it's ready to go.
How hard was it for you to find quality people to continue to do your vision?
It's honestly, it's taken me years. Count's Customs has been there for a little over 15 years now. And over those years, I collected a really incredible core group of guys that are extremely talented. I mean, I've got some amazing guys. These guys have now evolved into department heads, and again, over the last few years, we've been collecting more people, that are approved by myself and or approved by
you
my
got to be
department
on
head.
top of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So because what we put out, we are the things that you're seeing on the show, we're not doing them for camera ready. We build a car. It's literally the producers, the director, the crew will have to wait until I say it's done. Oh, it looks great. It'll be great for the shot. No. Until so we're really building real vehicles. They're not just show vehicles. They're real vehicles. So it's a whole lot of work. It's a whole lot of hours. It takes a whole bunch of guys because Season 1 was 13 episodes. Season 2 is 26 episodes. Wow. The network wants two cars per episode. So that's 52 cars that we're building over this period of time. So we're up to what, like 35, 36 people on staff now.
Yeah.
I've got Lord knows how many square feet down there. I mean, I'm.
Well, yeah, Tracy was saying you're like
several buildings.
It was funny because it says don't park here, and the next thing I know, it's like, wow, that's part of the business too.
Yeah.
And I saw the shop area over in the one corner.
Yeah.
Actually, the first time I stopped in, the toter was out there with the big trailer. And
Yeah.
That was being prepped to go to, I think, one of the bike runs or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys have a lot of real estate over there.
Well, that's one of the cool things. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No.
That's one of the cool things about bringing a vehicle to us is it doesn't have to leave. Lots of times, you bring a vehicle somewhere to get built, and maybe it's mainly the shop that does whatever type of thing that they specialize in, and then they send the car over to this upholstery gentleman that they work with, or then they send it over here to this gentleman who lays down paint or whatever like that, and that can work, but there's so much room for error in that circle. And then this guy blames that guy when something's not right, and that guy blames this guy, and the guy who loses in the end is the customer who's standing there, caught in the middle of all of this.
Yep.
With us, there's nobody to blame but us. It's all under one roof. We have full mechanical. I'm not kidding you. I'm talking about literally full mechanical. Then we have a complete metal fab. We have complete body shop. We've got full paint shop, 2 spray booths. We've got full art department. We've got complete upholstery. We've got stereo, all electronics. The motorcycle shop is 100% stem to stern. It's all right there. The only 2 things that we farm out is chrome and powder coat. And that's just because that's 2 just completely different animals, and so
and they take a lot of real estate too.
Absolutely, and and as far as the EPA regulations and chroming, Lord knows I don't even get involved in that.
I don't even know how you get chroming done anymore.
We've got a wonderful chromer up in Salt Lake that we work with. We work with Salt Lake Chrome. They do a great job. They come down, they inventory and itemize everything. They take it up, they bring it back. Here's that itemized list. Check it all off. Everything is perfect. Wonderful. We've got great powder coater here that we work with in town. So those are the only 2 things that we farm out. Other than that, the car is.
But I want to break it down, Danny, because you've got customer cars, i.e.,
Yes.
let's say I bring my T-Bucket to you and say, I want you to rebuild it and this is how I want it.
Yep.
Then you've got the cars you build for the show.
Yes.
Now, do those cars get sold? Do you keep them? What are they for somebody? What are you going to do with those cars?
That's the problem that we have. That's when they say you have a problem, you have to admit that you have a problem.
Right.
You ain't got
That's the first step in recovery.
First step to recovery, man. I do have a problem. I am truly an addict.
Great defense, Danny.
Yeah,
Great
like
defense.
I like it.
That's, Your Honor, the prosecution would like to rest based on the strength of the defendant's testimony.
That's right.
Is there a percentage of the show or the cars that are built on the shows customer cars versus what you want to keep?
Some of them are customer cars, and so going into that, I know don't fall in love because it's going to go back to the customer.
Unless, of course, you can buy them.
Right. Yeah. And I've tried that. You'll see on season 2, man. There's some customer vehicles that by the time I got through doing it, I've tried to buy it from the customer.
Oh, no doubt in my mind. I've watched your show.
Yeah, they don't. Some of them, they don't want to get off of it. A lot of the other cars are literally cars that we pick up. Whether it's something that we score on the street, somebody we pull over, something we find in somebody's backyard. Those vehicles, they become shop vehicles. The intentions with those vehicles are to build them the way that I see them, and then flip them and put
Yeah,
them
okay. Well, let's talk about the flipping thing because go to your website. Great website. I don't know who did your website, but really liked it.
Albert Ochoa.
Got to tell you, did
He's
a good
awesome.
job for
He's
you.
awesome.
It's a good website.
Thank
But you get all excited. You go, cars for sale. All right. You click on it.
It says
2 that are on
owned
there
by
say-
Danny, owned by Danny,
Sold.
owned by Danny.
Yeah, we're trying, man.
We
We're
got to
trying.
fatten that inventory up a little, buddy.
We're trying. Yeah, I agree. Here's the problem with that is sometimes a vehicle, even before it's finished, somebody comes in and I want to buy it.
You know what? You're dead right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to buy it. They take a tour, they see it. I've got to have that car.
And see, on that topic, people can go through your shop.
They can come through.
You got the museum
check
with
the
all your
place out.
cars.
Absolutely. So there's that issue of we have a hard time literally getting something done and on the website to sell. Now our hours right now are insane during shooting of season 2.
I gotta figure.
But when we get a little more downtime, we're going to be doing our best to pick up vehicles and get them ready for sale on the website. So we're trying to get there. But
Kevin, you heard the cute term, in our downtime.
Yeah.
And that fantasy would be what? Yeah.
There used to be downtime and not anymore.
No, it's not happening. Hey, we're going to break. We come back. We got more from Counts Customs and the 2 lead stars of that whole program, and not to mention the business. That said, this is Drivers Talk. We certainly appreciate you being with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Drivers Talk. Rick Titus, Tracy Miller, and Spencer Crick in studio. A couple of special guests. We've been waiting for them to come for quite some time. Really anxious to talk to these guys. Talk about an impeccable reputation. We've mentioned a lot of guests on this show to people here in Las Vegas, which is such a car town. You come here, one of the areas you got to go to Counts Customs. They let you tour the place. You said every person you bumped into, every employee you bumped into was polite and wanted to make sure you were having a good time.
Every single one. And got to give kudos to Shannon. You know, she's up at the front desk
awesome.
Reading everybody.
Yeah,
What a girl.
Yeah,
we were very impressed.
You guys have built a heck of a team.
thank you. I firmly believe that we are so blessed with our team. We got a great team.
It's the key to have good people. That said,
Yep.
all right, those of us who see you on TV, and we kind of figured out that just based on the different episodes on different places, that you had a lot of talent within the Counts Customs.
Yes.
We kind of figured that. And when I saw the pedal car, which, by the way, that turned out really good.
That was fun.
That thing was hot looking.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine Danny Koker's got time to do a pedal car, but
Yeah.
it really did turn out bitching.
It was a blast.
That was a good one. But Tracy's kind of found out about your other life,
Yeah.
which I don't know how you have time for that, but
There
you
are
have
several
another
other
life.
lives.
Several lives, yeah. Do you hear as many voices in your head as I do?
Constantly. They never let me sleep.
That's
Well,
right.
in the Rio Hotel and Casino
Yes.
is Counts Tattoo Company.
Yep.
How is that going, and how did that come to be?
It's
I mean,
awesome.
obviously you've got ink on you.
Absolutely. I've got a tattoo shop in the Rio. It's how did it come to be? That's a very interesting story. My father got me started in cars and got me started in bikes. He was my best friend in the world, and he was my business partner in several things. I credit him with anything that's good in me. I credit my father and
I
my
understand
mother with
completely.
that. And so I lost him in 08. He's watching from upstairs. With that said, I kind of lost my mind in 08 during that time, and I had to get busy. I had to occupy myself. So I just got busy, and I started opening up businesses. I just said, "That's it. I am going to work myself to death right now because I gotta get my thoughts somewhere else."
Right.
And so a tattoo shop is something that I knew a guy at the time who was in the tattoo business, and he was like, "This is a great business. Why don't we do this?" So he's no longer with me, but I opened up the tattoo shop at the Rio, and it's doing wonderful. I'm so fortunate in that. Yes.
No different than talent-wise within Counts Customs.
Yes.
This requires a lot of talent too.
And we've got some serious talent down there. I mean, we're kicking out some beautiful artwork down there, and again, the shop itself is insane. It's something that we did all of our own decor. We built we built it all out.
Wow.
So it's got that flavor to it. You know what I'm saying? So we've got great artists, a great vibe. It's a creative environment. It's a relaxed environment. If you're looking for some ink, brother, go
Well,
visit
I
Counts
have to
Tattoo.
admit, I have not been there yet. I will go and take a
you'll
look.
dig it. You'll dig it. It's really nice.
I'm a little worried that somebody's going to hold me down and ink me before I get out, but
Come on,
That's
all
okay.
right.
There's
All
nothing
right.
wrong with that.
That's right. Absolutely.
But the one thing that we did get to see, I took my
Yeah.
son Austin with me.
Yeah.
We went to Counts Vamped, which is your bar and grill.
Yeah.
We were very impressed.
Thank
Not
you,
only
brother.
the food,
Yeah.
the atmosphere, and I got to mention the atmosphere at Counts Customs.
Yeah.
You describe it as
It's Pimpire.
Pimpire.
It's my own flavor. It's part vampire and part pimp, and you stir it up in a bowl together, and you come up with Pimpire.
And what that means is purple velvet walls,
Oh, yeah.
diamond tuft,
Flames, a lot of tuck and roll,
lot of neon.
diamond tug,
Kevin, you know what I'm hearing?
velvet,
Yada, yada, yada. My wife won't let me do this to the house.
a lot of leopard velvet.
Yeah.
curtains.
So this is where you get to exercise that desire.
Well, his wife's she has the same same taste.
Oh, yeah.
And so their house is gorgeous, and of course they have a lot of that same flavor in their
cool.
house,
It's
which
everywhere.
is nice.
It's all over the place.
Okay, we got to get back to Count's Vamp.
Yes.
Went in. Not only is it a very cool bar and grill in the decor,
Thank
but
you. Thank you.
it's a live venue as far as music
Live
goes.
rock club, live rock venue. I've got a stage there that we custom built. This stage, the PA, the front of house, the monitor world, everything. It's designed for national bands. So, in a venue that is 300 capacity, we do a lot of local bands come through there. We support the local rock scene every week. And then we bring nationals through on a semi-regular basis. Like I've got LA Guns coming up. I've got I just had Y&T through there. I mean the
Now,
list
how
goes
are you
on. With
booking that?
national
With
bands.
everything you got going, how are you guys doing that?
Brother, that is my wife. She is doing that. She is a rocker. She's a rock chick. She knows all of these bands. She knows all of this music. She knows all
Awesome,
these
because
bands.
there's no way.
Well, she actually produced my vampire show 100 years ago.
Oh, you're kidding. When you were doing the horror show thing?
That's how we met. She produced that. And so now with Vamped, I needed somebody that I could trust to handle the entertainment side of things. I've got a wonderful manager in there by the name of Danny Gentile. He runs the restaurant, the bar, the staff, all of that type of stuff. But as far as handling the entertainment is concerned, I've had a couple people through there that have tried to grasp what we do there, tried to grasp the concept, tried to handle the bookings, things like that. And it's not that they didn't do a good job. It's just that sometimes if you want it done right, you just got to do it yourself.
Well, and it's in your head. It's in your head.
That's the thing. And my wife Corey, she gets it. She understands what the place is because she is that. She's a rocker. So Vamped is really a blend of if you go to Hollywood and you go to the Rainbow Bar and Grill or you go to the Whiskey A Go Go or the Viper Room or the Roxy, Vamped is all of that put in one place.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And that's what it is. It's a real rock club. So she handles all those bookings, and brother, man, there's entertainment going on in there every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. And
you're playing there too.
I actually
Forgot to mention your band.
I do. I have a band, Zito 77. We are an all 70s hard rock band. We do not your typical stuff that you hear all the time. It's the B-side stuff that you go, oh my gosh, I can't.
All right,
believe
but
they're doing
delineate
that.
for me hard rock versus heavy metal.
Heavy metal kind of, in my opinion, kind of came a little bit later. We do a little bit of heavy metal, like we do a little bit of Black Sabbath and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But for us,
No, you like Ozzy? I didn't get that impression when I walked into the bar and grill.
no, the bike for Ozzy, man.
Yeah, that was a very
Absolutely.
good-looking bike.
Yeah, he's a great guy, by the way. Nothing but nice things to say about Ozzy. He is the coolest.
Good thing, because Sharon will come and kick both your asses.
Absolutely, that girl's tough. That girl's tough. But the band does anything from Zeppelin, Stones, some Grand Funk Railroad,
The Doors.
A lot of Doors.
Oh,
man.
interesting.
I'm
Okay.
a huge Doors guy.
So it's not acid.
No.
No, rock and roll.
It's the harder side of rock. Like 70s. It's so funny. The music of the 70s. You either kicked out that real happy light pop stuff.
Right,
know,
bubblegum
"Find
is what we
my
called it,
baby,
yeah.
Gonna hold her tight. Whatever. That real light stuff like that. And then there was another culture going on over here. Of the 70s of some good old Frampton Comes Alive.
Oh,
or some
and Hendrix to the
it's
extreme.
the Hendrix, exactly.
Yeah.
Just that type of stuff. So we fall more on that harder rock side of things.
But you have an awesome voice.
I
You're not a
appreciate
guy
that.
up there just faking it, singing.
Thanks, man. I
You've got a
appreciate
good
that.
voice for that.
Well, I come from a music background. My father was a musician, and I grew up in it. And I actually grew up in gospel music. I grew up in Southern gospel and black gospel.
Did you
music.
really?
And that's what I grew up singing.
But what that
and so now I can take that and.
See, I grew up in the jazz environment because my
Yeah.
dad had graduated from Juilliard
Yep.
as
Awesome.
a jazz trumpet player.
Yes.
But those core musics, that Southern gospel and that bass jazz from the 40s and 50s,
Yes.
that's the roots of real quality music.
That's absolutely it right
You
there.
know?
You grew up in that type of stuff, you can basically adapt to other things. So growing up, that's what I performed, that's what I did. And then what I listened to the rock. So now I get to take what I had back then.
Well, every Southern Baptist kid listened to rock.
Absolutely.
Because your parents didn't want them to.
Man. So, now, we do, although I got to say, I think my father was probably the biggest Eagles fan on the planet, which is great. I love it.
That's interesting.
Phenomenal.
But you know what's crazy too is in knowing Danny for all these years, this is the interesting thing is that he when we first started riding motorcycles and hanging out together, he never even discussed being a singer or that music background. Until I went to his wedding, and his father played the piano at his wedding and was unbelievable. Wow. And I'm looking at my wife and I'm going, oh my God, I had no idea.
And
nobody did. None of our friends, our group of friends, with about 15 of us that used to ride, had no idea. And then about, I would say maybe a year or two later, he had an open house that we used to do at Count's Customs. And it was the year before I started with him. He did this open house, and he was on stage singing. And I'm looking at him going, hello, you never said anything.
Tell anybody.
Yeah, but amazing singer.
Yeah.
We go out of town. We travel. We do dates with Zito 77.
Yeah,
where
the band is getting booked all over the country right now.
Wow. Yeah, and so we'll fly out and we'll go do a date. And I tell you, everybody in the band is so talented. They have a great guitar player, rhythm guitar player, a great bass player. So they have two guitar players, a bass player, and the drummer, Paulie. I mean, all of these guys are phenomenal musicians.
How often do you get to play with your own club, though? I mean,
I'll play at Vamp probably once a month. We don't do it all the time. Probably once a month at Vamp, and then on the road. We take the band on the road, and it's awesome because the television show has become a conduit, and it's assisting all of the businesses. It's been great for the tattoo shop. It's been great for Vamped, and it's been great for the band. But what's really, really fun, that I find the most fun about the band, is it might get booked under the pretense of a gimmick. Oh, this is the guy from TV. Yeah, he's got this TV show.
Good point.
Yeah, let's book him. He'll bring people out. Whatever it is, it is. Okay. Well, the band is 5 guys. There's 5 of us. And all 5 of us, we're truly a band. We really everybody pulls their own weight. So it's fun when you get there and you start the show and you realize this is not a gimmick. Holy crap, this is a real
music.
band.
I know exactly
and
what
so
you're
that
talking about.
becomes twice as much fun then. So we're having a great time doing it.
Shock value. But you're going to be facing, I know we're going to break here, but you got career dilemmas coming up here.
I know, man. I know.
We really do. And here's the thing is the band doesn't get in a bus and go on the road and do tour dates. We do one date at a time, and it might be once a month, it might be twice a month. And so, you have to all get in a plane and you fly wherever and you perform and you come back. And we're right now we're getting ready to book 4 dates in Sturgis where we're playing 4 days straight. Well, the band's playing, I'm just managing it, but they're playing 4 days straight, boom, 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 boom. And that's it. You fly in, you do the 4 dates, and you fly out.
Wow.
Yeah.
And brother, man, he takes care of everything, by the way, on the road. I'm not kidding you. Kevin that's why I'm saying he's right side. He's so organized. It's awesome. None of us have to think. It's all handled.
I get to travel with somebody that's just like that too.
And let me say, punctual on getting back to people too. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
You understand what it's like to have to produce.
It's business. Business is business, and we take care of business. And Danny's favorite saying is, it's the TCB from Elvis.
Taking care of business.
Taking care of business, and we take care of business. His favorite line, and we have as much fun as we can along the way.
Well, God bless you.
Thank you.
What a thrill for us. You go to the website. You got to go to Count's Customs website. If you're in town and you don't cut an extra day for yourself to go out and have some fun and visit places like that,
have to go see their place.
You rip yourself off.
Right.
You missed a key part of coming here.
And if we're in town, we're at the bar.
Oh, yeah.
On Friday and Saturday night. So come see us.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly. You can find us there on the weekends all the time.
Well, I got to tell you, you are the son. You guys are the sons of Las Vegas.
Thank you.
Love you here.
Thank you so much.
And we've really grown to appreciate the talent that's there.
Thank you.
And the effort you're putting in and sincerity.
We love this city, man. We love the city. The city's
shows.
been really, really good to the both of us.
Yes.
It's been really good to me, and we like to give back as much as we can. So we appreciate that.
There you have it. You got to go to their website, Counts Customs, and thank you guys so much for taking the time to be here. We know you got to go do some shooting.
Thank you.
We truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
AM/FM listeners, we'll be right back. This is Driver's Talk. And welcome back to Driver's Talk. I'm Rick Titus, Tracy Miller, and of course Spencer Crick in studio. Having said that, our guests just left. We did 3 segments with them. I got to tell you, not since Pete Brock have we done that. When you get special guests, you want to hang on and capitalize on the opportunity.
You know, it was nice to see confirmed what we had heard in Las Vegas, and that was that their team, not just Danny, but everybody there, which I had experienced by being over at Counts Customs,
right?
Their kindness, their politeness, how they are in general as far as outside of the TV show, and it's exactly what we found. If you come to Las Vegas, take the time to go to Counts Customs. You can look it up under Counts Customs. It's Counting Cars is the TV show. You'll love it. They're there on a regular basis if they're not out filming. They like to shake hands. They like to greet everybody. So highly recommend it. Everybody there is
and
so
like
polite.
you said, the whole staff is friendly. But I got to tell you, in talking to those guys, there really is a career dilemma here because now he's getting booked a lot as a public speaker. Of course, he's got the restaurant, bar, his band,
tattoo shop,
TV show, the tattoo shop. All of this stuff is just, I mean, I know the window of opportunity is open, and I know he's scrambling to do everything he possibly can, but at some juncture, he's going to wear himself out.
And, you know, we were just talking as they left the studio, and Danny said, you know, I've always been kind of a night guy. And he said you would think that would mean that I wasn't much of a morning guy. He's up early. So it goes right with the whole vampire theme.
Well, if you're going to do a TV show, which, by the way, is called Counting Cars, it's on History Channel, Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock. The season premieres, like now. You're going to want to watch that show because that takes some courage. He drives around, and if he sees a cool car, he swings around and tries to pull him over. I would think that'd be a little bit of a scary occupation.
Nowadays.
But I was interested to see how much he's involved with Counts Customs in the way that they build customer cars. They build cars for the TV show. They build cars for Pawn Stars because they're basically customers. He consults to Rick Dale over at American Restorations, Rick Restorations, rather. It's called American Restorations on the History Channel. Just so much going on. But I just couldn't believe how sincere and how willing to give us their day they were, given what their schedules look like.
Yeah, they were leaving here to go film.
Exactly.
TV work to do.
You know, we talked on the topic of classic cars, and I really want to give a shout out to Kelly Blue Book. They've got an original guide for early model cars from 1948 to 1991. You know, these are car and truck values. This is a Blue Book. It comes out every few months. This is I happen to have the July through December edition for last year with me. Great people, so much detail in here, and I was shocked how many cars. And if you're going around looking from everything from Corvairs to Plymouth to DeSoto, depends what you're looking. Oldsmobiles, I mean, they're not even in business anymore. They give you some basic high and low value on those books. I think it's good stuff.
Well, and the reality is there's a lot of those cars still running around out there.
There
And,
are.
you know, just like us, we like to be out of the norm as far as some of the projects we have.
Right.
If that's what you're looking for, that's not a bad.
Well, let me tell you what I
Bible to
think
go to.
drives this too. You know, we've seen the 32 Fords have gotten so expensive, and the metal ones are all but gone. And then, of course, now there's the fiberglass replicas, and the low boys, the high boys. There's so many classic standard cars that have gotten so pricey. Even early Mustangs. You know, I know. You know, a week ago we were talking with Michael about what his collectible cars and why he still likes to sell Mustangs, but they're not getting cheap to buy anymore. So we're all kind of looking for what's the next possible hot rod, what's the cheapest way into this hobby, and that's where I think a book like this, and you can go online at kellybluebook.com and look these prices up. It doesn't cost you any money, and I think they really help establish some of the values on these cars.
And I think that book can actually help trigger maybe an idea of where you might want to go. You know, an idea that you didn't have prior.
Right.
You may look at something and go, wow, I wonder what this is. You look up a picture of it. There's your next project car.
Yep, I agree. Now, this is a segment wherein we do the Did You Knows. Did you know that was 1923? Did you know that in 1923 they put the first car radio in? I'm guessing it was, well, AM. I'm going to go with AM radio. You know, best case scenario.
If that was one of our quiz questions, I think we'd have a lot of winners.
And then the other one that I came across, it really surprised me. The VW Beetle had a 67-year lifespan in its first iteration.
That's huge.
It is. I mean, no one's going to do that. They sold millions of them. And they actually were still being produced in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and in Pueblo, Mexico. Mexico being the last plant to actually close production of the original Beetles. And that, of course, closed in Pueblo, Mexico on July 30th, 2003. And that last one, the last Beetle that rolled off that assembly line, was sent to Volkswagen, Wolfsburg's headquarters in Germany, where they put it in a museum as the last VW Beetle ever built of 2003. And oddly enough, that became the location of the manufacturing of the new Beetle, which is now in its second generation.
That gets way confusing. German car built in Mexico goes back to Germany, but is now being built back in Mexico.
That's right.
Who's on second?
What?
Yeah. Okay. Hey, our friends at I mentioned this last week. Our friends at Hot Rod Magazine.
They did a good job with this piece, by the way. That you're reading
they came up with some eBay facts, and we thought we'd throw this into the Did You Know on eBay. Whereas it would have taken us a few years ago hours and hours to try to nail something down, track it down through a swap meet, wherever it was, or through somebody's hearsay of a garage.
Hours and hours. Could have been days and months.
Yeah, exactly. Now a wheel or tire is sold every 13 seconds on eBay.
No kidding.
13 seconds. Now they're probably worn out and they're down bald, but they were old Mickey Thompson drag strip tires.
Right, but it depends what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But some of these vintage wheels and tires are hard to find.
And some of these guys are actually, whether the tire is old or not, they're still putting it back on that car because it was original. Just to give you an idea, a piston-related part is sold every 9 minutes. Who would guess on a piston part? You think you got to replace those on
I
a
would have
regular
lost
basis.
a lot of money on that one.
Yeah.
I'd have lost a lot of money. Hey, as promised, we told you that the Driver's Talk Book Club would be, in fact, giving away a book. This, of course, is brought to you by motorbooks.com. If you're into the car hobby, a car enthusiast in any way, shape, or form, or motorcycles, or airplanes, or a whole bunch of other topics, go to motorbooks.com. You'll be amazed at the diversity of products. Everything from how-to to literally collector cars and different historic stories, profiles on different race drivers and celebrities. This one's called The Cobra in the Barn. Now, in of itself, that title probably makes you think it's about finding a unique Cobra. And the first chapter is about that. Chapter 1 is about that. But this is a collection of stories of cars that were found, well, in places no one expected to find them. Kind of hidden away, tucked away, the secret treasures dug out. And this was written by Tom Carter, and the foreword's by Peter Egan. Very, very talented guy. If you read Peter's stories, they're very engaging in Road and Track magazine. Been around a long time. Very serious car guy. But Tom Carter did a great job of bringing this book together. So this is going to be our quiz question of the week. To win this book, all you got to do is go to Facebook, answer our question, and be first to do so, and you will win, and we will ship this to you from Motor Books. Of course, our question circles around, if it were possible, how long would it take to drive to the sun? If the average car was being driven to the sun, how long would that actually take? And of course, I've got that written down somewhere.
Here, you use my sheet.
Okay, cool. The choices are this: A, 91 years. B, 150 years. Starting to get a sense this thing's a long ways away. C, 23 years. Or D, 340 years. I'll repeat the question. To win the Cobra in the Barn from Motor Books, if an average car were to drive to the sun, how long would it take? A, 91 years. B, 150 years. C, 23 years. Or D, 340 years. Well, answer that question correctly on Facebook. Be first to do so, and this book will be on its way to you. This book's worth
I'm
having.
glad you said average car, because if that was one of yours or one of mine back when we were kids,
The trip would never be completed.
Yeah, we'd have never.
Can you imagine trying to do this in a Bug-Eye Sprite from 1960?
Nope, wouldn't have got out of the driveway.
No, couldn't. Well, yeah, it would have taken 23 years just to get to the end of the street. So
You know what? I don't know why they put starters on them. I always push started.
exactly. You know, actually, in my high school, it was a legitimate excuse to be out absent that day if you drove a British sports car, because they knew you just couldn't get there. You know, it just wasn't. Times have changed. British cars today are.
I don't know about
pretty
your high
refined
school.
vehicles.
Mine didn't have any downhills. It was kind of a pain in the
No,
butt.
Van Nuys High, that was stuff was all level there in the San Fernando Valley. And you grew up in El Monte. That was pretty level over there,
was too. Yeah, no hills.
Yeah, well, the only hills were uphill both ways. So kind of an odd deal. That said, we certainly appreciate being with us. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed doing it. I'm proud of who we had on here. Good job,
guys.
boss. You got the right people. That said, this is Driver's Talk. We wish you open roads and safe motoring. Thanks for listening.
And for our VOD audience, we appreciate you being with us. We'll see you next week. To you, wishing you open roads and safe motoring also. Bye-bye.